Welcome to No Longer Conformed. We're studying the book of Revelation. In this session, we'll be looking at Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. The baton is raised. Let's read that verse. When he opened the seventh seal, there was a silence in heaven for about half an hour. There was silence in heaven for about half an hour. The 24 elders stopped playing their harps. The angels ceased praising the Lord. The 144,000 Jews were quiet, and the multitude stood without singing about redemption. For 30 minutes, for half an hour, heaven was speechless. Heaven was awestruck. And why? And that's a long time. To wait a minute or two in silence is long. 30 minutes of complete silence. Heaven was speechless. Heaven was awestruck. And why? Well, consideration of the coming judgment. Read chapters 8 to 16 to see the detail of why. It's like the start of a symphony. When the conductor raises his baton, pauses. Listen, Jesus has raised his baton. He will lower it. Heaven, at that moment, is holding its collective breath, anticipating what comes next. Within that seventh seal, which is about to begin, is the judgment of the trumpets and the bowls, all the way up through chapter 16. And we looked at the judgment of the seals. When that first seal was opened, the white horse came out with the conqueror, bringing peace. Then the second seal was opened, and the red horse came with the rider who was able to remove peace from the earth and bring war. And then the third seal was opened, and a black horse with the rider who was able to bring famine on the whole earth in the midst of war. And then the fourth seal brought the pale horse and death in many ways. And then when the fifth seal was broken, the martyrs, those first martyrs who were taken from the tribulation and were in heaven, they were reassured that they would be avenged. When the sixth seal was opened, the great day of wrath, earthquake, all kinds of signs in the heavens, men trying to hide from the presence of God. And then there's a kind of a hiatus between the sixth seal and the seventh seal, where we see this glimpse into heaven and the sealing of 144,000. And then we've come to the opening of the seventh seal, and there's this half hour of silence. It's kind of the introduction of the trumpets. The baton has been raised, and the baton is about to come down, and the trumpets will begin to sound. And when those trumpets sound, God's judgment comes beyond any doubt. The first trumpet will bring plagues. Hail and fire mixed with blood destroys 1/3 of the earth's vegetation. The second trumpet brings another plague, burning mountains cast into the sea, destroys 1/3 of the seas, all sea life and ships are destroyed. The third trumpet brings another plague, the great falling star destroys 1/3 of the rivers. The fourth trumpet brings another plague, which destroys 1/3 of the heavenly bodies which provide light. The fifth trumpet releases great hordes of demonic forces which bring persecution for a time. The sixth trumpet is an army of horsemen bring death to 1/3 part of men. And then there's an interlude of mighty angels, this little book, and the two witnesses. And then, with the seventh trumpet, brings the 7 bowls of God's wrath. The 7 bowls of God's wrath in Revelation chapters 15 and 16. The first bowl on those who had worshipped the Antichrist. The second bowl turns sea into blood and destroys all life in the sea. The third, all fresh water is turned into blood. The fourth bowl poured out on the sun so that it has power to scorch men with fire. The fifth bowl poured out on the throne of the beast. It produces darkness and causes great pain. The sixth bowl is poured out on the river Euphrates, and it moves toward the battle of Armageddon. The seventh bowl is poured out, and it brings great cosmic and earthly cataclysm, just destruction of the empire and the civilization of the Antichrist. The baton is raised, and next time it will be lowered. You have a great day.